Today we have probably the most requested video on my channel, how to run the other mesh variations. Before I talk about the other variations, I want to talk about the progression for mesh from tray open, because the progression for the other variations of mesh, a lot of them are actually very similar to this version. Whatever route is designed to occupy this flat defender is the first read of the play. In this case, it's this out route. So he's the first read. The second read is your front side drag. Your third read is going to be whatever route is over the middle of the field. In this case, it's the post. And your fourth read is going to be your backside drag. I prefer reading mesh like this because it keeps this play as a right to left or left to right progression. So my eyes are from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, just from right, crossing the field all the way to the left. So let's see how this relates to the other variations of mesh. The first variation we're going to talk about is mesh dig. You'll find this stock in the formation pistol strong slot open in Louisiana Tech, Middle Tennessee State, and Purdue's playbooks. If you play Madden 26 and you're using the generic air raid playbook, you'll also find this in that playbook. What route is designed to occupy the flat defender? This fullback swing. He's your first read. The front side drag is your second read. What route is over the middle of the field? The dig. That's your third read. Backside drag, that's your fourth read. This is how you read mesh dig, and you can see the similarities between this and the progression for mesh from tray open. Looking at our first read, is this grass open? No one expanded with our swing route, so we're going to hit him right now and take our easy yards.
It's Klubnik. Grabbed in the backfield. It's heavy.
1, 2, 3 to 4.
Looking to pass. It's
First read, is this grass open? No, it's not, because the defender expanded to the flat with this swing route.
Klubnik.
Second read, is this grass open? Yes. Mesh dig is a great way to attack the middle of the field, and we're doing this by creating two triangles. We have one triangle with circle, square, and R1. These three receivers are attacking these two defenders. They can never be right. And then the second triangle between circle, square, and X are attacking these two defenders. These two can never be right. It's just a numbers game. We have one more than they can guard.
grabbed in the middle. It's green. Nice.
If you see a play called mesh post, the progression is the exact same as mesh dig. This version of mesh post from tray open, which features an auto motion, can be found in the generic air raid playbook, Purdue, and USC. You'll also find mesh post in the formation gun spread, which you can also find in USC, Purdue, Colorado State, TCU, and Western Kentucky's playbooks. Regardless of the version you use, the progression will still be the same. Running back swing or flat route will be 1, front side drag is 2, your post is 3, backside drag is 4. Since this version has an auto motion, I will take a quick peek at this, but then I'm immediately getting my eyes on my first read.
Wants to throw on first down. That's reeled in. It's Perry.
Let's talk about mesh spot, which can be found in gun spread in the playbooks Clemson, Oklahoma, TCU, UTEP, and Western Kentucky. This play is actually really flexible because you can read it as either left to right, or you can read it right to left. If you start with the left, then your speed out is going to be number 1, to your front side drag is number 2, spot route is number 3, backside drag is number 4. But if you read it from the right, then you're going to start with the running back wheel. He'll be your number 1, to your front side drag is number 2, spot route is number 3, and backside drag is number 4. In this clip, I'm reading it from the left, so my speed out is going to be my first read.
This offense. Back to throw. It's Stewart. Working that left.
In this example, I'm reading it from right to left.
Looking to throw on
First read, I see a defender in this grass, so I'm going to say the running back wheel is not open.
first down.
Second read, the front side drag, is this grass open? Yes.
Got it in the middle. It's Anderson.
If you're using either Purdue or USC's playbooks, then you'll have a mesh spot and spread flex. And in my opinion, this version of mesh spot is better than the one in gun spread. Spread flex keeps the wide receivers in a condensed split even when you run this play on a hash, whereas gun spread does not. I'm reading this play from right to left. So 1, 2 to 3 to 4.
Methodically down the field. Looking downfield. It's
First read, there's a defender in this grass, so I'm going to say that this wheel route is not open.
Stewart.
My second read is open, only because my opponent's user is kind of sus. And also, I don't use the USC playbook a lot, and I don't run this version of mesh. So I didn't know that this mesher was going to stop in here. I'm more used to the mesher stopping somewhere out here. So I had already looked off of him. But that's okay because the third read is wide open.
Finds a soft spot in the middle. They'll finally put the
I was exploring other air raid playbooks in Ultimate Team, and I found this in Baylor's playbook. I thought this was a really interesting version of mesh spot, so I decided to try it for the first time. What route is designed to occupy the flat defender? This out route. Here's your number 1. Front side drag is number 2. Route over the middle of the field, the spot route, is number 3. Backside drag is number 4. Hopefully by now you're starting to see a pattern.
back to throw. It's
First read, my out route is getting jammed by a cloud flat corner, so he's not open.
clubbed it.
Second read, is this grass open? Yes. You also see another triangle in the middle of the field. Our 3 receivers versus their 2 defenders. They can never be right.
Pulls it in. It's green. And he
Let's talk about mesh post wheel. The progression is the exact same. You can read it as either right to left or left to right. If we're reading it from right to left, which is usually the way that I read it, this wheel route who's responsible to occupy the flat defender is your number 1. Front side drag is number 2. The route over the middle of the field, this post, is number 3. And the backside drag is number 4.
scanning the field. It's
First read, is this grass open? No one expanded with the wheel route. Everyone is flowing inside with the drag and the post. So this is open.
Raiola. Gets it out fast.
You can find mesh post wheel in a couple trips formations as well. Clemson, Louisiana Tech, Sam Houston State, TCU, and UTEP will have this play in trips halfback week. Louisiana Tech, Middle Tennessee State, Purdue, USC, and the generic air raid playbook will have this in tray open offset. Your progression is the same. Wheel route, which controls this flat defender, is 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. 2 back formations, trips halfback weak, and tray open offset will have the best versions of mesh post wheel, and it's because the post cuts at a really steep angle. This is different from your standard post route, and because of this steep angle with a pass lead down, you can turn this into a pseudo dig route that gets underneath deep blue zones very well.
Second down. They'll go to the air.
As you can see, with a pass lead down, we're getting this post route away from the middle third safety and turning it into more of a dig.
Unloads to the wideout.
This is mesh post wheel from gun early in the generic air raid playbook, and if we look at this post, this is not cutting at a very steep angle. This is like your typical post route. So to help this post route get underneath deep blue zones better, I will custom stem this down 1 click on the D-pad.
Wants to go up top.
First read, this wheel route forces my opponent's user, the slot defender, to expand to the flat. But if my opponent took this defender and flew inside, then I would have enough room to rip this in right now. Second read, is this grass open? Yes.
Got it in the middle. It's Humphries.
This play is also great in the red zone.
Wants to fire on second down. Let's it fly. Touchdown!
If you noticed, those previous variations of mesh all shared a very similar progression. That's to keep things very easy and keep your eyes simple. Once you become familiar with that progression, you'll be able to run those variations of mesh with ease. The routes may look different to your opponent on defense, but your eyes will remain the same. Now let's talk about mesh snake, which is pretty much the trips version of shallow cross. This time, your first read is the front side drag. Your second read is the dig. And then just like shallow cross, whoever takes away the dig is your third read between either the backside drag or the post. This post route is meant to push back the safeties so that they can't jump the dig, but if your opponent is using this safety and jumps the dig, or they do something weird with their defense where these safeties are not playing deep blue zones, then you have a shot with this post.
Back to pass.
First read, is this grass open? No, he's not. But with this post route pushing this defender and the safety back, that leaves a window to throw the dig.
Pocket breaking down. Snagged in the middle. It's Humphries.
You'll come across this play as well, sometimes referred to as mesh dig and sometimes snake. Even though it has a clear out streak instead of a post, this play is still pretty much the same. You're reading 1 to 2 to 3, and if the safeties are not going to respect this clear out route, then you have a shot for a touchdown. If you don't want to think about this play as running shallow cross from trips, you can also think about it as very similar to the dagger concept, which you'll find in a lot of NFL pro style offenses. Clear out route by a slot wide receiver, usually a streak or a post, with a drag underneath and a deep dig over the top.
Going up top again.
First read is wide open.
Pulls it in. It's Perry. Russell out.
The last version of mesh we're going to talk about is the one that I will sometimes run if I call this play and I get a cover 2 look from the defense. If you watched my Y cross video, then you know that when I call that play and I get a cover 2, I like to tag the front side of the play with the smash concept because it is a natural cover 2 beater. Well, what if I tag the smash concept on these two wide receivers who are running routes that have absolutely nothing to do with the actual mesh concept? It doesn't really matter what these two receivers are doing on the outside. As long as we keep these routes intact, we're still running mesh. The smash concept is a very simple and effective way to beat cover 2. We're putting this cornerback in conflict. If he sits in the window of the corner route, we throw the hitch. If he drives on the hitch, we throw the corner route. If both of these happen to be covered, then we look to the mesh.
Wants to go up top.
This cornerback is sitting in the window of the corner route, so we throw the hitch. And we're attacking this cover 2 defense with another triangle. These 3 receivers to their 2 defenders. If this corner drove on the hitch, we can throw the corner route. If this corner drove on the hitch and the opponent was using this guy and followed the corner route, then the mesh is open. It's just a numbers game. We will always have more receiving threats than the defense can defend.
Up on first down. Finds his man. It's Roberts. That one takes it down to the...
That is how you run the other variations of mesh. Become a member of my channel if you'd like to have access to more advanced offensive concepts and my 3-3-5 tight defensive system. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you'd like to see more content from me, and I will see you in the next video.